Hello folks, another day, another unboxing. I've got the Oppo R17 Pro here. The box is a little beat up, as you can see, but you know what? I'll take a beat up box any day. This is specs. It's an 8GB 128 gig version. There's a bunch of bands here and a bunch of writing I can't recognize, and then this beautiful packaging. The little cloth here. There you go. So let's unbox this, shall we? Ta-da-da-da! Look at that. That is nice packaging, folks. There's nothing left in here, by the way. So the Oppo R17 is an interesting beast because it's very similar to the OnePlus 6T. As you know, both the OnePlus and Oppo and also Vivo are under the umbrella of BBK, the same kind of master entity, as it were. Now, you know, they are independent companies, so they do their own thing, but they do share some resources, and that's why we see some shared technology. So the first thing you'll notice is a teardrop notch here and an in-display fingerprint reader. That's why I'm saying it's very similar to the OnePlus 6T, but then there's a whole bunch of differences in terms of camera systems and battery and all that. So let's walk through that really quickly together. First, let's look at this. Wow, I mean, look at this gradient. Isn't that incredible? Look at this. Beautiful. All right, so we got the phone. We've got a little divider action. Oh, there's something in this divider, so let's take a look at that. There we go. There is a case in here, and I think that's it for this box. And this case is kind of tinted bluish color that matches the phone color. Very nice, very nice. Then we've got a little care package here, probably for manuals and all that. SIM removal tool, and we've got some documentation. I'm not going to go through this in great detail, but so this is officially a CPH 1877 by Oppo. I think this comes in different names. There's a R17, RX17 Pro, R17 Pro, which is what I have, and this is kind of like, because it gives you a quick layout. Important information. Anyway, let's not worry too much about this, and let's have a look at the rest of the box. Wow, look at this presentation. We got a very large Super VOOC charger. Now remember, very much like the new supercharging technology that OnePlus is using, this is very similar. This is supposed to be one of the fastest charging systems in the world, but that's a big break, folks. I mean, you know, this is the size of the phone, so you can get a feel for it. There's also some earbuds here, which is really nice. Wow, look at this presentation. Very nice earbuds. I'm not sure how you open this. Oh, hey, I was able to crack this open last minute. So here are the earbuds, as you can see, USB Type-C. And then you've got this Super VOOC USB Type-C cable with Type A on one end, yellow coating to show that it's a Super VOOC charger. Little condom on the USB Type-C connector, also with yellow. Very cool. I think this is it for the box. So here's the phone, and let's have a closer look, shall we? So, in-display fingerprint reader, as you can see. There's also two SIMs, dual SIMs, right, from what you can see here. And there is a notch up here, a teardrop. Let's see if I can take this out without unwrapping the package. I might have to open it up. Here we go. There we are. So, wow. Holy crap, that's beautiful. Look at this. So let's remove this sticker here and continue from there. Wow, look at the color on this. It reminds me of the P20 Pro and Mate 20 Pro, but instead of being top to bottom, it's left to right. And so this camera system here is pretty interesting, and I want to talk about it in a second. But look, purple on one side, fading into a color, and then blue on the other. Now this is glass. I think it's, yeah, this is a glass sandwich, folks. Incredible. Wow, beautiful phone. Let's turn it on, shall we? Hopefully it's charged. There we go. Boom. Oppo. Powered by Android. It does look like it has a pre-applied screen protector, which is very common on these phones. I'm going to leave it be. And let's see what happens once we boot. All right, there we have it. We've got the boot screen. You can set it up. I'm not going to do this right now. What I want to do is walk you through some of the specs. So this screen, as you can see, is almost fully bezel-less. There's a small, slightly bigger chin there. The teardrop notch, 6.4 inches, 1080p. It's an AMOLED panel. And then on board you have a Snapdragon 710. This is the first phone in my hands that I've tested with a Snapdragon 700 series. So 710 is kind of like a combination of the 600 in terms of pricing and the 800 in terms of specs and power. So it's a kind of a tweener and a very interesting processor. We haven't seen too many phones with it yet. There's a 3700 milliamp hour battery on board. This particular device has 8 gigs of RAM and 120 gigs of storage. Doesn't look like it has any micro SD expansion unless I missed that somewhere in the specs sheet that I looked up earlier. So yeah, that's essentially the specs. So let's talk about cameras in a second, but before we do, let me walk you through the edges. On the left side here you have the volume rocker, as you can see, and then you got nothing until you get to the bottom where you have the speaker, which is mono, the SIM slot, and USB-C and primary microphone right over there. Very cool. Then on the right hand side you get the power lock key. On top you have a secondary mic and some antenna bands. There's also antenna bands on the bottom, and so that's the lay of the land. That camera here in the notch is a 25 megapixel camera, f/2.0, 0.9 micron pixels. I'm not sure that's a good thing, but the rear cameras are really interesting. So there's 3 rear cameras. There's a dual LED flash here as well. One of the cameras is a 12 megapixel with a dual aperture, f/1.5 and 2.4. And so I think it's the biggest one in the middle here. It's a similar module to what Samsung's using on the S9 and Note 9. And it has 1.4 micron pixels, which is great news. Then, of course, OIS on that lens, and you know, phase detect, autofocus, dual pixel phase detect, autofocus. So really quite a big deal. This is going to be a great camera. Then of course we have a second camera. It's 20 megapixels, f/2.6. I'm not sure which one it is, but my bet is on the one at the bottom here, and that's probably a tele lens. It doesn't say so in the specs, but I assume that with an f/2.6 it's tele. And then we've got a 3D time of flight camera, which I assume is the top one, very similar to what we saw on the Honor View 20. So that's the thing. That's, you know, to assist with portrait mode and stuff. So very interesting design and camera specifications. This is a pretty hefty phone, not too thick. It's 7.9 millimeters, but it does feel a little heavy, 183 grams according to specs. So there you have it, folks. The Oppo R17 Pro, gorgeous looking phone, in really interesting specs. Very, very keen to get my hands on this. I've been waiting for a while, and I'm really looking forward to trying it out and telling you about it more on the podcast. So stay tuned for more about the Oppo R17 Pro. And thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, tell your friends. And I want to thank our sponsor, ProXPN. ProXPN is a VPN that lets you stay secure and private wherever you go when you're traveling. And more importantly, if you're traveling and you want to watch video services that are not available in your region, you can do so. And it works with Netflix, so it's pretty cool. There's a link in the description below where you can sign up and get 50% off by joining ProXPN today, and you'll support the YouTube channel if you do so. The Mobile Tech Podcast is the name of the YouTube channel because it's a complement to the actual podcast. You should subscribe to the podcast at mobiletechpodcast.com and continue watching the videos and tell your friends. Thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned for more unboxing videos. Cheers, everyone.